Hello and welcome. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Outrider. So, the Outrider is a ship that I wanted to build specifically for putting that Magellan cockpit, which you can see kind of up at the top, um, located somewhere other than the front of the ship. Now, the problem with the Magellan cockpit is that it does, or it's takes up two halves in front of it, or two kind of one by one spaces in front of it, on both the level that it's at and the space below it. And since I don't like clipping into habitable spaces, that means that I needed to go ahead and have, like, as you can see here, the Deimos hulls or something along those lines that it is clipping into and not, just putting habs directly underneath. Additionally, because of how long it is, if I want it to not be at the front of the ship, it means the ship is reasonably long because I have to have a hab at a minimum a one by one behind it that you can use to access it. So this then led to me having to build something that was more or less the height that you see now. And then I decided to go ahead and put these little outriders on it, just more as an experiment. I think it turned out okay. I'm gonna have to go ahead and try harder next time, though. So that's kind of the design that I came up with for this. Then I decided that I should go ahead and make this an Escort class ship because there's nothing that was really stopping me or preventing me from doing that. It just meant that I would have to downgrade the engines and reactors some to fit into the requirement that it is no more than two ranks of Starship Design. So, now that we've kind of seen it from here, let's go ahead, hop around a little bit as we make our way to the back, where we have our landing bay. All right. So we board the ship and we are immediately entering into the Hope Tech 2 by one all-in-one berth. Oh, not all-in-one, armory. So you can see right here we've got space for any weapons. We have a little brig, and then we have a door up front, and then a ladder in the back. Let's go through the door up front first. So here you can see that I decided to go ahead and use the Hope Tech Mess Hall. There's a few different options that I could put in here to fill the space. I could have three 2 by ones or like a living quarters and then go ahead and stick, say, a all-in-one berth in or something like that. But for the escort ships, I don't have any hard requirements for like certain habs that are needed beyond, say, being able to sleep for and preferably an armory. So I decided to throw this in. Got a nice big galley for you to cook in while you're on your routes, and then nice relaxing area right over here in front of the TV. This would kind of just be the general area that the crew would all hang out in um, while you're on a voyage, and you could also have some space for some passengers if you needed. Forward of this, we have the 2 by one all-in-one berth, and this one is a Stroud. We can have see New Atlantis right out the windows there, or Jemison, or whatever that is. Yeah. Coming all the way back to the back of the ship, though, we have the ladder going up, and this is entering into the, I believe it's the Tayo, could be the Hope Tech captain's quarters. So I just figured that I like having the captain's quarters on. We've got a bathroom there, bed, You could go ahead and swap this out for, say, an all-in-one, so that way you've got more beds available for a bigger crew. And then hopping on up here, we come into a companionway. So we've got our docker access at the top of this ladder. And then we've got the door that is now leading us to our cockpit. And then you can see where that is there. So let's go ahead, take a look at how this ship is built. And then after we see how it's built, we can go ahead and take it out to Serpentis and see how it performs in combat. So immediately looking at this ship, you can see I am making use of the ship flip glitch to go ahead and hide some things and also to connect these engine bracers on out. So you will need that enabled in your settings to build this ship. However, you should not need any mods to build it. I am making use of one that unlocks all the ship parts at my outpost landing pad, but you could very easily just go ahead and go to the various manufacturers to pick up the pieces you need for the ship. So let's go ahead and grab my colors into my palette. So I've kind of got a gold front and then a gray rear. There we go. And now I'm going to select all and delete. So let's go ahead and build this ship. First off, let's start with the landing bay, and I'm going to reverse this. And then right here, I'm going to go ahead and stick the Hope Tech Armory. Note here that if you want to use a different armory, you can. I was just fiddling with things and trying some new stuff, so I went with the Hope Tech. Um, I think that if I was choosing to do, rebuild this ship, I would probably go ahead and use either the Deimos or the Stroud one here instead, but it's whatever one you like the best there. Off the front of this now, I'm going to go ahead and choose the Hope Tech 2x3 Mess Hall. And then off the front of this, I'm going to go ahead and place the Stroud 2x1 all-in-one berth. You can make this the A or the B, it does not matter. For this particular ship, they are virtually identical. Let's see here. Next up, we're going to start going upwards. And here I'm going to go ahead and grab the Tayo all-in-one berth, or Tayo 2x1 mid, and I'm switching this on over to the captain's quarters. I'll place that right there. And then on top of this, I have a Hope Tech companionway. Then on top of this, I have my Docker, which is just the 100 DP Slim. And then off the front of this, I have my cockpit, which is going to be that Magellan C2X. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull this to the side, and then I'm going to copy this up and move this up. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm now going to go ahead and merge this into the Deimos holes. Now, I will note here, I merged this into Deimos holes. You could also very easily go ahead and merge this into Stroud mid bracers, and that might line up better with these cowlings that are going to the side. It's kind of your choice on which one you want to merge this into. But what I had was a pair of mid bracers, so let's keep using those. And now I'm going to duplication glitch this down. Now that that's done, we'll put that back on, and we have that all set up. Alright, Now that I have that, let's go ahead and grab my reactor and my grav drive. Now, I will note, I put the reactor and grav drive right here. I could go ahead and instead stick a 2x1 hab in right here and put the reactor and grav drive in the Outriders and just kind of hide them there. But it's your choice on whether you want that additional hab space or you want, or you don't. So let's look at what I was using. Now, for my grav drive, I went with the R4000 Alpha grav drive. The weight of this ship exceeds what you can get with a 28 light jump range with the R3000 or the Helios 300. So the next step up from the 23 grav jump thrust is 27, which is going to be one of these two. Next, on the back of this, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Spheromac DC-201 reactor. This is the most power that you can get from any reactor with Starship Design rank 2 or less, with the exception of C-Class. So this is better than any other A-Class or B-Class reactors, so if you're doing this, use this, unless you can't because of level limits. Alright, now that we've got the reactor and the grav drive, let's go ahead and grab some landing gear. Now this ship, I have two of the Acculander 11s on each side of the reactor and grav drive. And then I also have, in my outriggers, a pair of NG-20 landing gear 4s. And I'm just going to set that out here right now. Alright, now that I have that in place, let me go ahead and kind of fill out the structural elements here. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab the pieces that I'm hiding first. So up here, I went ahead and I hid some cargo off the side of this Deimos hull. I put in 4 200 cm ballast cargo holds, 2 on each side. And as you can see, this is giving me 1240 cargo for the ship, which is more than sufficient. Then down here, let's go ahead and grab my shield. And I was just looking, the best shield you can get with Starship Design Rank 2 is the Deflector SG-40, at least with Class A. And just looking around, you can see that 550 that you get here is indeed the most. Then on this side, I'm going to go ahead and put in a fuel tank. And here I used a single Atlas 30, which gives me 400 grav jump fuel. This is probably overkill most of the time, but I wasn't running into any mobility or jump range issues, so why not? Alright, now that that is done, let's go ahead and start adding structural components. So first things first, let's come back here, and let's start slapping in the shroud caps. Alright, and then if I move this forward, I can now come over here and grab the shroud nose cap, flip it upside down, there we go. Alright. Then, right back here, I'm going to go ahead and slap on a Deimos cowling. And then let's go ahead and come on down here to these shroud components again. I'm going to grab a pair of these shroud cap Bs. And these are being just flipped into place over the fuel tank, and then on this side over the shield. Then I'm going to grab 4 Stroud cowlings. And just flip that in over the cargo. Alright, then let's come up here. Let's go ahead and just slap on that porthole right there really quick, since I'm here. And then back here, might as well just kind of finish filling this area out. A nose cap that I am putting right there. And then right here, I have a Deimos tail. Then up here, I have a pair of the Horizon weapon mounts, just slapped on each side of the companionway. And then over here, I need to come in the back side of this piece, and I am going to add in the Stroud engine bracers. I'm going to put 2 on each side, like so. And then let's come on down here, and we are going to grab the Stroud nose cap C's. And then flip that into place right there. All right. Now to finish up the main portion of this hull, I'm going to come right here and I'm going to grab my 2 of my engines. So over here I put in a pair of SA 4110s. Right there. Now then, coming over here, let's go ahead and start building the Outriders, or Outriggers. Can talk today, I swear. Alright, so here I'm going to start with a Deimos hull. I'm going to place the landing gear underneath. On the front of this, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Stroud braking engine. On the top of this, I'm going to go ahead and grab Nova cowling. And then I'm going to flip the Nova cowling. And then I'm going to come over here and grab my next engines. Now, you could go ahead and do something like the Airman 5 engines here and get more similar shape, but over here I put in the White Dwarf 3020 engines, just because I kind of like the look of that. And then once we put this cowling on, I now have space to flip this one in place. Now, rather than being really complicated, I'm just going to copy this entire piece on over and place it over here, and then put that back on. There we go. Now, from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my weapons. So I'm using all Class A. So I've got 4 Disruptor 3300A auto electron beams, which there we go. Okay, fine. I will put that on like that. So I put those on right up here on this. Then on the bottom right here, I grabbed, actually not here, where did I stick that? Before I grab that, let me go ahead and grab the Ravager. Got 3 of the Ravager beams, and then I have the PBO-30 auto electron beams. And I stuck these on the ship somewhere. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull off this landing gear. Then I'm going to put this on, and then flip that into place. There we go. Now the reason I have to flip that into place is because this does not line up properly with the Stroud Cap A's. So there's a very small amount of clipping there, which I don't know why they decided not to line that up properly, but it lines up perfectly on upper cowlings, but not on the lower cowlings. Alright, so enough complaining. Let's go ahead and assign the weapons. And then let's paint this ship. I'm going to go ahead and tell everything to be gray. And then I'm going to take basically this front section here. Nope, nope, nope. Not move it. I want to select it to give it a different paint job. There we go. And for this one, I have my goldenish colors. There we go. And that is the Outrigger. Now you can see I did not assign the weapons to the same slots. It's whatever. But let's go ahead now. Confirm that. And then we are going to run around. And take this puppy on out to Serpentis to see how it performs. And you can see this is the cockpit view from inside. So this is a Class A ship still, and with Starship Design Rank 2, we cannot really brawl with this ship. So we are still going to need to go ahead and do that kiting that I have demonstrated several times. Alright, and let's wait for these shields to decide to charge. And then we will go ahead and head on out. Alright. And as you can see, I only need, about 150 grav jump fuel to get to Serpentis, so the 400 that I have is rather extraneous. Alright. Alright. There we go. It's one down. That are. And then let's boost away while our ammo restores itself. And there we go. So you can see the ship is still plenty maneuverable, when you bother trying to drive. Um, and got plenty of firepower to go ahead and take down 3 Veyroon without really trying. You know what? Let's just go ahead and see if we can find any ship parts. There we go. And see if there's anything that's more challenging around here. Hostile activity, sure. Alright, so we've got 4 Veyroon here. So let's go ahead and do our usual. Alright. 1 down, 3 to go. Whee! Well, that's very rude of you. How about you stop blasting me? Alright. And let's let our our shields recover, and then dive back in. Yes, and you are nothing more than a pest. Whee. All right. There we go. All right. So that was a little bit more of a challenge, but can still do it. Now, just to confirm, this is on extreme difficulty for the ship combat. And mentioned a time or two, this is all being recorded while on New Game Plus 2. So I'm not sure exactly how the New Game Plus has changed the difficulty. I've just been told that they do. So, it's a fairly strong ship that you can mess around with and enjoy, even with the limitations of Starship Design Rank 2 or less. Of course, if you get higher ranks of Starship Design, just swap the engines for better, swap the reactor for better, shield for better, and look at swapping the weapons around for whatever better particle beams are available. But I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with that. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. And I will see you next time.